Hello, welcome everyone. This is the second part of this chapter, valuation in mergers and acquisition. It's after a long time I'm posting this video, so if you haven't checked the first part, you watch that because it has covered many basic concepts. So let's get started. I'm on page number 389, illustration number 6. So what it says, acquiring company is considering the acquisition of target company in which the target company would receive 90 rupees for each share, and the acquiring company does not expect any change in its price earning ratio after the merger to the value, and there is no synergy. Okay, so they have given us around 8 points to calculate. So and the additional information is also been given, so let's calculate that. So I'm on illustration 6. Acquiring company target company. Okay, earnings have been given. Earnings are 2,50,000, here 72,500. Number of shares, it's about 1,10,000, 20,000. MPS is 50 here and here 60. See, from the given data we can calculate many other things. That is, EPS we could calculate. Earnings divided by number of shares would give us EPS. So 2,50,000 divided by 1,10,000 will give 2.2727 EPS, and here 72,500 divided by 20,000 will give 3.625. Now we can even calculate P ratio. PE is price upon earning, that is 50 divided by 2.2727, which will give us 22, and here 60 divided by 3.625, that is 16.55. Okay, from this we could calculate this much things. Now the question starts. In the question it has told, here we are having 50 as a market price, MPS here as 60, but they are saying that this acquiring company is going to offer 90 for the shares for target company. Okay, so now we have to calculate purchase price premium. What is this purchase price premium? As in the earlier fifth question we understood that target companies, this target companies usually receive in premiums. That means their market price per share is 60. If they are getting 60 rupees share, that means they are getting at par. But above than 60, if anything they are receiving, it is known as purchase price premium. The difference between the real value of company and the actual price paid by the acquiring company. Okay, so here their real value is 60 rupees for a share, while the acquiring company is going to pay them 90. So how much is the premium? While calculating, we'll get 90 divided by 60, that is 1.5:1. So this is the purchase price premium. Now the second is exchange ratio. Exchange ratio, the formula is target company upon acquiring company. Okay, the basis could be anything. The basis could be EPS, it could be MPS, the basis could be book value, intrinsic value, or P ratio, anything. It could be anything. So here, as the exchange value is already given for on the basis of market price per share, that is 90 rupees, so we will calculate the exchange ratio accordingly. As the offer price is 90 for the target company and the MPS for acquiring company is 50, so the exchange ratio would be 90 divided by 50, which would give 1.8:1. But if this 90 rupees offer price is not given in question, then we calculate as 60 divided by 50, but as the offer price has already been given that they are going to offer 90 rupees for each share, so the exchange ratio would be 90 divided by 50. Now the third question is about the number of new shares issued by the acquiring company. Okay, so now this acquiring company and target company is going to get merged, or this company is going to acquire. So these two companies, at last it would be only one company after merger, say acquiring company would only remain. So now we have to see how much would be the earnings and how much would be the number of shares. See, this both company after merger, the earnings would be both, will add both of them. So the total earnings would be 2,50,000 plus 72,500, which would give 3,22,500, while the number of shares would be, this 1,10,000 would remain same, while here this acquiring company is not going to take all those 20,000 shares, while it's going to take as per the exchange ratio, how much has been fixed. So the exchange ratio is 1.8, so 20,000 into 1.8 is going to issue 36,000 shares. So the total number of shares would be 1,46,000. Okay, so the third question asks the number of new shares issued by the acquiring company. The acquiring company is going to issue some number of shares. It would be based upon the exchange ratio. So the number of shares would be not 20,000, while 20,000 into 1.8, the exchange ratio, that is 36,000. Now the fourth point, they have asked to calculate post merger EPS. So this is the post merger earnings and post merger number of shares. So we can calculate post merger EPS. It would be 3,22,500 divided by 1,46,000, which is as 22.0890 something. Okay, now fifth question is pre-merger EPS of the acquiring company, which we have already calculated. Pre-merger EPS is 2.2727. Pre-merger P ratio is 22, which we have also calculated. Now they are asking post-merger share price. Okay, we are having post-merger EPS, and the question, it has stated that post-merger P ratio is going to remain the same, that is a P ratio of pre-merger. So the post-merger EPS is there, post-merger P ratio is the same, 22. So for calculation of post-merger MPS, we will just multiply both of them. So what would be the answer? 48.60. Here the point would come here, this side. 322,500 divided by 1,46,000 will give 2.20. The decimal is here. Okay, so if we will multiply with this, we will get 48.60. Now the last is post merger equity ownership distribution. Okay, so we saw the number of shares is 1,46,000, while this is of acquiring company, this is of target company. So we have to find the ownership distribution. So the ownership distribution would be 1,10,000 divided by 1,46,000. The ownership will be of acquiring company, and the 36,000 divided by 1,46,000, the ownership would be of target company. So 1,10,000 divided by 1,46,000 will give 75.34% is of them, and rest minus 1, which will give 24.65% is of target company. So I think here we end this illustration number 6. They haven't further asked to comment on the results. So the results could be commented as like what was the pre-merger value and the post-merger value. Pre-merger EPS and post-merger EPS we have written what we have calculated, and same way the MPS and post-merger MPS of acquiring company has been stated. So in that we could find that this has been declined. There is a decline here also. So both the cases the condition is poor. There is a poor decision of acquisition. We can state that. Okay. Now illustration number 7. Now illustration number 7. R is intending to acquire this company, S company. The information is given, earnings, number of share, MPS has been provided. We have to calculate present EPS and 2 more sub points. Okay, so let's go on step by step method. There's information I have same noted in the notebook. Now they are asking for EPS. EPS we know what it is. Earnings divided by number of shares. 2,50,000 divided by 50,000 is 5. And here it would be 3. Now the second question is, if the proposed merger takes place, what would be the new EPS? That is, we have to find post merger EPS, assuming the merger takes place, exchange of equity shares, and the exchange ratio is based on current market price. Okay, fine. So the exchange ratio is based on market price. So let's first calculate that. Exchange ratio is based on market price. We know target upon acquiring, that is 14 divided by 21. 14 divided by 21. It's 0.6667. Okay. Now we have to find the post merger EPS. For that we need to find total earnings. After post merger the earnings will be added of both of the company. So the earnings is 2,50,000 plus 90,000, that is 3,40,000 the earnings, while the number of shares would be, this shares 50,000 plus not 30,000, 30,000 into this exchange ratio with the number of shares would be this much, 30,000 into 0.6667, that is 20,000 is equal to 70,000. So dividing both of them will get post merger EPS 3,40,000 divided by 70,000, which is 4.8571. Okay, now the third point which they have asked is, what should be the exchange ratio if S Limited wants to ensure the same earnings as before and after merger? That means they have to maintain, which company? S Limited has to maintain same earnings, and they're asking for what should be the exchange ratio. Okay, if such question happens, that means the exchange ratio is based on EPS. If they say same price, same market price, and they ask to find the exchange ratio, so the exchange ratio will be based on MPS. So here as they are asking what should be the exchange ratio if it wants to ensure same earnings, that means the exchange ratio is based on EPS. So let's find the exchange ratio as per EPS. So we have already found EPS, that is 5 and 3. 3 divided by 5, the exchange ratio as per EPS will get 3 divided by 5, that is 0.6. Now, okay, it's already here. We are already reached here. So let's find the post merger EPS as per this ratio. Okay, as per this ratio. So the post merger EPS would be same, this earnings would remain same, while there would be change in the number of shares. Here we'll have number of shares as 50,000 of acquiring R company, while the S company the ratio is 0.6. 30,000 into 0.6 will give us 18,000. So the number of shares is different, 68,000. 3,40,000 divided by 68,000, it's 5. Okay, so the EPS is going to remain same, that is 5. So this is how it's been solved. They are asking that it has to ensure same earnings. We can even prove that as the number of shares here is now 18,000, with this EPS it's going to have the same earnings. It's just proving this, up to this much is only asked, while if we have to prove, we can prove in this way. After calculation 18,000 into 5, it's going to give us same earnings. Now illustration number 8. A Limited is considering the acquisition of B Limited, okay, and the information has been provided, earnings, number of share, EPS, P ratio has been given. Let's find what else we have to find. So let's copy what the given data is. Illustration number 8. A Limited, B Limited. We have the earnings given 7.5 lakhs, here 2.5 lakhs. Number of shares 4 lakhs, here 2 lakhs. EPS after dividing will get 1.875, they already provided, otherwise we could also find by dividing. Now P ratio is 10:5. See, if this data has been given, we can easily find MPS. What is the formula of MPS? What is the formula of P ratio? P ratio is equal to MPS divided by EPS. Now we want to find MPS, so multiplying both of them we can get MPS. 10 into 1.875, that is 18.75. 5 into 1.25, so it would be 6.25. So we found the MPS. Now let's check what they have asked. The same, what is the market price of each company, which we have already found. Okay, now what is the market capitalization of each company? What is market capitalization? Market capitalization is the market value. See, we are having MPS, that is one share market price we are having. We know the number of shares, multiplying with the number of shares will get the market capitalization. 4 lakhs into 18.75 will get the total market capitalization or the total market value, that is 75 lakhs. Here this multiplied by 2 lakhs, that is 12.5 lakhs. That is the market capitalization. Let's check. Yeah, we are correct. Now the third question is the P of A Limited. Now they are saying P of A Limited, this A Limited P changes to 7.5. Let's change it to 7.5. So what is the market price of A Limited? Okay, what is the market price? If this has been changed to this much, 7.5, the new market price would be 7.5 into new MPS would be 7.5 into 1.875. That is 14.0625. Now they are asking in the fourth question, does market value of A Limited change? Obviously, the new market price is this much, the market value is going to change. The market value would be this new MPS multiplied by 4 lakhs. This is of 1 MPS, market price per share, while the market capitalization or the market value refers to total market value, that is multiplying with number of shares. So here when we will multiply it, 4 lakh multiplied by 14.0625 will get 25,000. Okay, now they are asking what would be the exchange ratio based on market price, and in the bracket they have written take revised price of A Limited. Okay, they are asking to find what would be the exchange ratio based on market price. So we are having this MPS and here the MPS is same 6.25. They are asking to find taking revised MPS value and we have to find the exchange ratio. So the exchange ratio will be this one 6.25 divided by the new MPS. So the answer is 0.44. So we are finished with that. Now illustration number 9. Illustration number 9. The A Limited is considering to take over this both company and the data has been provided. First they are asking us to calculate P ratio, which is pretty simple. So let's copy all the data. Earnings we have is written same. While the number of shares, they have given us equity share capital of rupees 10 each. That means 45 shares here, 18 shares here, 9 shares here. We do not want the whole amount, we want the number of shares. EPS is dividing that we get, and MPS already given the question. Now we have to find P ratio. That is simple. P, that is MPS divided by EPS. 60 divided by 2, 30, 37 divided by 1, 37, 46 divided by 2, that is 23. So the first part we have finished. Now second is earnings per share of A Limited. We have to find earnings per share of A Limited after the acquisition of B Limited and C Limited. That means we have to find post merger earnings. Will you recommend, and based on that, will you recommend the merger or not? Based on the results, will you recommend the merger or not? We have to justify with the answer. Okay, so they are asking us post merger EPS. Post merger EPS. So for finding that, we know the basis should be something. First of all, we need to find the exchange ratio. So let's calculate the exchange ratio. The same format we'll calculate because we are having 3 companies, so we need to maintain that same format. So we have to find post merger EPS. First thing which is required is exchange ratio. As we can take any of the bases, you can even take P ratio as a basis, or you can even take any of see here I am taking the basis as MPS. So the target divided by MPS, 37 divided by 60, which gives 0.6166. I am writing it like this. Now 46 divided by see here, sorry, here this should be written here, the exchange ratio, and 46 divided by 60, that is 0.7667. So exchange ratio I have taken. Now the number of shares post merger. So anyhow this 45 is going to remain same, while this 18 will be multiplied with this one, which will give us 11.10, and this 0.7667 will be multiplied with number of shares to find, that is 6.90. Okay, so what I did is nothing, I'll tell you. We need to find post merger EPS. Okay, for the post merger EPS, we need the earnings divided by post merger earnings divided by post merger number of shares. So here we are finding post merger number of shares. To find the post merger of number of shares, it will depend upon the exchange ratio. As here the exchange ratio, the basis I have taken as MPS. So exchange ratio is simple, target divided by acquiring, target divided by acquiring. So we got the 2 values. So the number of shares would be this. If these both are getting merged, so the number of shares would be 45 plus 11.1, which would be 56.1. If these both are getting merged, so the number of shares would be 51.9. Okay, if these 2 companies are merging, the number of shares would be this much, plus we are adding, it would be this much. Now the earnings here, if these 2 companies are merging, then the earnings would be 90 plus 18, which is 108. And if this and this company is merging, the earnings would be same, 90 plus 18, that is 108. Now finding the post merger EPS is easy, earnings divided by number of shares. So let's divide 108 divided by 56.1, that is going to give us 1.92, and here 108 divided by 51.9, that is going to give us 2.08. Okay, so we have arrived to the final solution, that is 1.93, that is something point difference, and here 2.08. Now if we will see, this is the condition 1.92 and 2.08. Pre-merger EPS was 2, here also 2. Well, after merger, where is the benefit? Here is the benefit. With the merger with the C company is the beneficial. So we'll go with the C and A merger, okay, not with the B. This is what it's been written in the analysis. Now illustration 10, XYZ Limited is considering merger with ABC Limited. XYZ Limited's shares are traded. Okay, so this data has been written in the tabular form. See, here they are saying MPS, that is its shares are traded, that is of ABC Limited shares, XYZ Limited shares are being traded at 25. Okay, it has 2 lakh shares outstanding. Okay, and its profit after tax is 4 lakhs. Profit after tax is the earnings. Now ABC Limited, it has 1 lakh shares outstanding, current market price is 12.5 and earnings are 1 lakh. Now the first question they have asked is, what is pre-merger EPS and P ratio of both the companies? Pre-merger EPS is simple, earnings divided by number of shares is 2, here 1. P ratio is price upon MPS upon EPS, here it would be 12.5, here it would be 12.5. Now second question, if ABC Limited's P ratio is 8, this is this, and here they are asking if it is 8, what is its current market price? We have to find the current market price. It's pretty simple. If this is 8 and we know EPS, we can find current market price. As we know, the formula of P ratio is equal to MPS divided by EPS. Now we have this and this, we have to find this one, so it would be multiplication. Okay, so the current market price would be 8. What is the exchange? But as here they are asking us to find the exchange ratio, so the exchange ratio they have asked to first calculate the MPS given this P ratio. So we calculated by this formula, we calculated MPS as 8. Now they are asking to find the exchange ratio. The exchange ratio will be on this value. So target upon this will get 8 divided by 25 will get 0.32. This is the exchange ratio. Now what they are asking, what will be the post merger EPS? So the calculation of post merger EPS, as we have been doing this since many last 4-5 questions, so this becomes easy, it becomes repetitive. So the number of earnings, first of all the post merger earnings would be 4 lakh plus 1 lakh, that would be 5 lakh, while then in number of shares you have to take care, that is here 2 lakh, while this 1 lakh would be based on the exchange ratio. So the 1 lakh into 0.32, which is 32,000. So calculating this will get 5 lakh divided by 2 lakh 32,000, that is 2.155 something. Okay, you can make it a round figure, 2.16. Now third question is, what must be the exchange ratio be for XYZ Limited that pre and post merger EPS remains same? Okay, so as in this this is the same question which was asked earlier. I think in illustration 7 I had told you, if the question says they want pre and post merger EPS to be same, then the exchange ratio would be based on EPS. While if the question says they want pre and post merger MPS to be same, so the exchange ratio will be based on MPS. Here it's based on EPS. So first find the EPS exchange ratio. So the exchange ratio as per EPS is 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.5. Okay, so this is the answer. In fact, the answer is this much only, but if we are required to prove that pre and post merger EPS remains same, so we'll find post merger EPS as per this ratio, post merger EPS. So the earnings is going to remain same. The number of shares here, it would be 2 lakh, while 1 lakh multiplied by 0.5, which will give us 50,000. So after dividing, we'll get 5 lakh divided by 2 lakh 50,000. It's 2. So if we will check, the pre and post merger EPS is the same. This is just to prove, but the answer itself, it finishes here. It's just to prove that we have done it, the evidence that we have solved correct. Okay, so I think here it ends. Now in the next coming session, I will be continuing with the illustration number 11.